Hmm?
And what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What?
Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own print would be on there. Well, you made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example.
Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only realized that I had one just now as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us, if I had told you sooner. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. At exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe.
Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. That guy's down in criminal affairs said they saw him around 2 a.m. You see?
Hold it!
So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit?
Yep. Right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct.
There's a hole.
Press. Ah, great.
Alright. Which one?
We did on the second one. Oh no, it was this one. We did on this one so
Yeah.
far.
Hold it!
You're correct, it was around 2 a.m.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with me. Spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then and made no mistake, it was 2.
Ooh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however.
Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
Okay.
Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit.
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm the testimony.
And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time. See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
Ugh.
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? Heh, I think we've reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there.
Sir,
Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe!
Oh.
Right.
The intruder could not have been Mr. Kurtzman. Well, guess it's this, huh? So I don't think it's the files.
Let's try.
There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Face of its life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once. Meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing how long the killer had to steal Mr. Face's gun, and I love hearing myself through your effing computer, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person. Which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Oh, great. Well.
Okay.
I don't think it's this one. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Mr. Pottsman, seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great. So you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth! Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief.
A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight.
What do you mean, two?
It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know.
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about.
Grr.
Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So then, this would be when the files are put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
Well, why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do.
But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there.
Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind.
You're such a complicated troublemaker. You know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved, however. There was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated.
There was another visitor, sir.
Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found the prize.
The stolen 0 file, right, sir?
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
So the shelves were getting messed up twice, and the 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times.
Precisely. So now, do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not in fact Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
Ha 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 ha. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point.
Don't say that, sir.
I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must.
You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence, I was down at criminal affairs. I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left.
So you think we should be out there looking for the thief?
Of course. Now isn't the time to be wasting time on dead-end discussion?
I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we?
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Facedown,
Well, hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? Maybe a proof that he left it at a different time, say, just before he was murdered.
I don't have any now.
You see? So I insist again that I was in my office the entire time.
Great.
Hold it!
I can't expect you to know, can I?
Nope. But I guess you can expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions.
Oh, then let's see you deduce. Huh?
Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed, and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I had laid out earlier.
Oh, great.
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't.
Why not?
That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Fate's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the zero files, right?
And that's how we also know the letters themselves were set up and not from Mr. Fate. If the thief was a killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves?
Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe.
Great. So what evidence do we have now? That is one.
Hold it!
Why did you go there with G, Mr. Fate?
Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know, those sofas in the hallway, he doesn't sleep on those. It's one of his habits.
And what was the evidence he brought?
They were things related to yesterday's case. There's 2 items, a gun and a pendant.
Interesting.
Hold it!
Gun and a pendant.
Yep, this gun, which was the murder weapon, and this pendant, which belonged to the victim.
Why were you taking them to criminal affairs?
It was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with the case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction. I guess we should present something on that last statement.
They're related to yesterday's case.
No, not that. Not that.
Yeah, not that one.
Back.
No bullet hole here.
Back. Back. To the right? Uh-oh. Wait, hold on, what was the previous statement? Go to the right. Present. I think the paper says 3 things.
Yeah. So let's see, it says...
Gun and a pendant. That's it.
Objection!
Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is you fail.
Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Butzman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully.
Ah! It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces.
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Butzman.
I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe.
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe.
What the?
Don't come any closer. I'm warning you.
This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir.
Not great. It's the guilty love all over again. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide.
But why would he hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to the person himself as the real killer. I always say big words. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For a section of the tape that to write the last nail into his coffin. Oh my gosh. Wait,
That's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No, you've got it all wrong.
No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video.
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? Personage? Yeah, that's what it was.
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints.
Yeah.
If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderers, you and Mr. Faith.
No, impossible.
What the? Oh.
Mr. Portsmouth has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good.
And the results we got back from the lab text on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back, and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to list a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool detection skills outside of the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies.
Aw, nothing. Really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that I was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir.
Yep.
If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd throw my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from my goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsmouth really was the one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say he was corrupt?
Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged there.
Forged evidence, huh? Oh, I've never heard of that before.
And they say he even decided to not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Ooh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Huh? Oh, well. With Mr. Portsmouth not willing to divulge anything, it certainly leads credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? The Mr. Portsmouth isn't the bad guy?
I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. Was it
safe?
this? Yeah, I
Go
think
back.
it's the
Yeah,
same.
it's a safe. Yeah, it's safe.
Take that!
Sir, I don't think there's any mystery left to that piece.
You wipe it right there.
I think you've solved the case already, Mr. Edgeworth. The only thing left that we still don't know about this is maybe this.
Oh. Oh, yeah, really the O in that. Yes, the Zero Series file, the significance of which we have yet to fully comprehend. The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
Yes.
I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir.
This card. It's Damask the Mask.
What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
Wait, a bird? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. What the?
Yeah.
Even you should know what that is, detective.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everybody's talking about.
Oh, it's the mask, the mask. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief, Yaga Garasu. Okay. Master Mask's predecessor or something. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yadagarasu is a noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Ha ha ha. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yadagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about the thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yattagatu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corruption is infiltrating without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with the secret card. Although it has been a while since the Yatakarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back.
What? Let me see.
It's the location where the thief put the stolen files.
Yatagarasu organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. The butcher is my office. Turn of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. Well, they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. Wow, the end.
Wow, 2 days ago. Airlines.
Wait, what? Sign a save. Well, I guess that clears up for this episode of Miles Edgeworth Investigations without the courtroom. You have anything to say, Tom?
No.
Not bad. Okay, it's time to save the game. Great. Can't believe Maggie Bird is back.
Did you save state?
Nope.